Hello, I'm Arthur Perkins, APGamingREAL here with a bunch of assholes. Thank you for joining us for Mistborn Episode 9.
Hi, everybody.
I'm just going to give everybody a second to chill out. Just let them bring it back a little bit. Bring it back. Just a little bit.
We're good. We're good.
I'm trying not to max my mic out. I feel like for the last couple episodes, I went back and watched them, and I sound really weird because it's like I'm shouting, and my mic maxes out. So we're going to try to chill out
intense.
today. Yeah, I just... My audio quality has plummeted since I joined Windows 10, so, you know.
Oh, man.
I'm trying not to annoy people by being like, hey, what's up, guys? I just did that, though, so.
Yeah.
Let's
totally wasn't talking about Overwatch porn before.
I mean, we're going to talk about Overwatch in a second, but...
Yeah, but not porn, hopefully.
Jesus. Will you get off the porn thing?
Will he get off the porn?
So Vyse has won one advancement for the vote. The vote was who didn't let their dreams be dreams or something. Best use of power? I don't know. I looked at it. And
it was takes everything and gives nothing back. Which I've learned. I've learned now the key to getting votes is just whatever you say the vote is, just say that phrase over and over again.
Okay.
Well,
That's how Vyse always gets it. He says the phrase over and over again. I found your secret.
Well, you see, it's just good business.
Well, this week's vote is about that thing I just posted. Which character put the group over their own personal gains?
So Valette should put the group over her own personal gains. Valette should do that. Valette should do that if she wants to vote for Valette.
I'm going to tell you right now, Odalys is not going to do that. So
subliminal messaging. That's right. Keep saying Valette and votes. People will think that.
I mean, you know, I got punched in the face for putting the group over the, so just...
That was last session.
I know, but it's pretty likely that I'll punch myself in the face again or whatever.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you need to get punched in some fashion or another, like every other session. It's in the contract.
I mean, as long as
I'm pretty sure the actual clause was when Odalys does not slap someone, Diedrich must get punched.
The next fan art from Erosaito would just be like every other character just gang beating in Diedrich.
It'll be the scene from Airplane with everyone just waiting in line to beat up Diedrich. You're Warren over there. I'll take over.
Well, we like to have fun here.
We do. We do like to have fun.
Oh man, I forget everything about this.
So,
my name is wrong. All of our names are wrong.
They are.
Except for SciFri.
What are you talking about?
His name correctly.
In roll 20.
Oh, I was gonna say listen. The overlay is beautiful. I even redid Vyse's custom panel this time around so that we have SciFri with an underscore, so you can get the
That's my Twitter handle. Follow that.
It took me like an extra amount of time to do that.
Oh, that's right. I did get a haircut since last time.
Oh my god.
So did I, but I see no one noticed.
I cannot get through this intro. All right.
I'm
Listen,
reading the chat.
We'll get to you guys in a second. Mistborn Ally of Laws come out. Since the last time we met up, we've done 2 episodes of it. So you can go ahead and check that out. It's in the description on YouTube. We threw it in the chat on Twitch. I'm going to go ahead and do my introduction. I did, in fact, watch Civil War, which is the last thing I talked about at the end of the last episode. It's great. It's the best Spider-Man movie that's ever been released.
I need to see it still.
By far. You said you were going to see it at the end of the episode as well. You said you were going to watch it the next day.
I lied.
I was going to watch it over the weekend, but then we got drunk at brunch, and we couldn't drive to the theater. And the one that was...
be slacking.
I was going to watch it, but my friends always bail on plans that we make. So I might see it tomorrow, but they're probably going to bail. So
I watched.
Just go by yourself. I might do that tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go to the movie theater by myself. It's like 20 minutes away.
Oh.
Yeah, and also you're wrong. Amazing Spider-Man 1 is the best Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, I had something. Oh, it's about Overwatch. That's what it was. I finally figured out what my beef with SciFri is about Overwatch.
Oh,
It's not just that he's totally wrong about everything about Soldier 76. We are fundamentally opposed, and here's why. It's a backstory thing. I'm gonna break a piece off. If you've been watching the Overwatch streams, you know that while I like playing Bastion, my main man Reaper is literally where I place my heart at. It turns out Reaper and Soldier 76 are the co-founders of Overwatch, and during the Omnic Crisis, Reaper, aka Gabriel Reyes, was in charge of Overwatch. And then after the Omnic Crisis is over, they were just like, "You're too edgy, Reaper. We can't keep you around anymore. You get to run the Covert Ops Division. We're going to bring Soldier 76, a.k.a. John Morrison, is for your job." And Reaper's like, "Really? Really, guys? I literally led this organization for a decade and defeated the Omnics, and you assholes are going to give my job to my best friend who literally does nothing but drop medpacks and shoot people in the face." That's where the beef comes from. He's a Soldier 76 loyalist, aka Traderville. I'm a fan of the original OG Gabriel Reyes, aka Overwatch Commander #1.
Dude, what? I've been playing a lot of Hanzo lately. I like that guy.
Yeah. Another fun fact about the lore: Hanzo is the bad brother.
Yeah, Hanzo's a bad guy. What?
Yeah.
I mean, bad.
Well,
he
betrayed his family and killed
finally,
Genji.
This conversation I feel so great. Like now that I've been able to play some Overwatch and like caught up on the lore.
He sort of puts what he believes his like traditional responsibilities are ahead of moral
responsibilities of being the head of a crime family.
So
you can't just stop being the head of the crime family. How are you going to feed your crime family?
At the beginning of every Overwatch match, it picks 2 characters on the same team and has them do some dialogue. Last night, I got Reaper and Mercy. It was hilarious. She was like, "What do you look like under that mask?" And he's like, "I don't know. You tell me."
You did this to me.
I was like, it makes sense. She is the team medic, and he did get blasted in the face during the Overwatch incident, so she probably fixed him up. Anyway, that's my introduction.
No one cared until I put on the mask.
Yeah. Let's introduce these other 4 individuals. Tux, how have you been in the last 2 weeks?
Pretty good. If you keep up with AP's other shows, you've seen me on them having a freaking blast because they're all awesome. We had a really good Star Wars episode this week with our season opener. I guess we'll kind of call it that.
No.
Kind of because
I'll let you know when season 3 starts.
Well, we got like everything started over.
This isn't a Wreckage or a Henley or a Eric Bulgaris show. We don't just start new seasons whenever we feel like it. A season lasts a year. It's a year.
Most of the crew is now new crew.
Literally, even shows don't base seasons on years. They base them on production cycles
of 26 weeks, aka 1/2 of the year that they are made in.
There are plenty of shows.
Well, it was something because we got all new characters, and it was really, really fun. Moloxi is the captain, so that's cool. She's trying to be a captain. Whether she does well, we'll find out. Winter's Edge is going really cool. Saltho is currently in his mind fighting his own magic, so that'll be interesting to see how that turns out. I got some alcohol. And I'm going to go see Civil War tomorrow, whether I have to go alone or not. So that's about it for me.
It's good. There's 2 after credit scenes for Civil War.
There's 2 of them. Wow.
Yeah. There's a before and after.
Don't leave after the first one, which I know a bunch of people did.
Uh-huh.
But also, if you're going on anime, there's 4 seasons of that in a year.
We're not. No. No, actually, no, there's not. They're literally just like, when they say season of anime, they're literally like, this is the fall anime.
Yeah, they're like spring, summer, fall, winter.
Yeah,
anime.
And if we do that, then
and at the end, they just combine it all.
You know what? Netflix tries to do that by saying there's been 4 seasons of, God, what is that horrible show that I hate because it's always about sexual abuse? Not Lock Horizon. Sword Art Online. They say there's 4 seasons, but it was produced in 2 years in 2 production blocks.
Wait, what? Parks and Rec?
What?
I just named a random show.
Oh, I was gonna say, wait, what? I think we're watching different shows. Oh, that's the darkest timeline. For
I
Parks
would
and
watch a
that is
Parks
the
and Rec
darkest
anime if it was all just Johnny Karate. Johnny Karate! I'm taking you in, John Cena.
Wait, what the fuck?
You didn't see that episode?
Sword Art
No, I
Online.
did. I was being John Cena.
Yeah.
I was continuing the bit.
All right. Anything else happening with you, SciFri, beyond being a trader?
Oh, we were doing my intro. I was just talking about it.
We very carefully merged from me into
Yeah.
you.
Oh no, I've just been playing Overwatch, and like as someone who's been playing TF2 for 7 years, 3 of which of those years were somewhat competitive. It's a great game. It fits right well into a genre that really needs more games in it. So yeah, I really like
I
it.
don't think that the FPS
There's
market...
not enough class-based FPS out there. Like you got TF2, Dirty Bomb, Overwatch, and like maybe Battleborn.
Battleborn's okay.
No one talks about Brink. We don't talk about Brink. Brink never happened.
Brink is like Brink.
But anyway, that's been me in a nutshell. I didn't stream it all this week like I promised, but I've been sucked in by Overwatch.
All right, let's go ahead and talk to our good friend Wreckage.
Hi. A season is defined as few as 6 episodes or as many as 30.
I literally posted if you Google what is a season, the answer is
James H.
season
Kelly
refers
created
to
2
a
network
single
shows.
year's worth of shows.
That is not even true if you actually look up the definition of a season.
All you have to do is Google what is a season. It's the first thing that shows up. It's literally the wiki box that pops up.
Right.
Just
You
say
know
it,
what? We're
Wreckage.
rebels. We don't need to stick to
You-
we don't need to stick to your rules.
I
man.
love Wreckage that I'm like, this is how a thing is, and you're like, no, it's not. Let me explain why. I'm like, this is how Twitter works, and you're like, no, it's not. Let me explain why.
Speaking of Twitter, I
Even,
had
you even
400
have
followers
it
yesterday.
clearly is
Nice.
talking
So-
about something
Nice.
specific. It clearly isn't talking about generalizations. Anyway, hi everybody, I'm Dr. Wreckage. Please follow me at Twitter on at Dr. Wreckage. I have also been playing Overwatch. I have also been playing Star Wars. I have also been playing Sunless Sea. We aren't doing any shows next week because Virgil is on vacation. So literally every show that requires Virgil, which is all shows. In some sense, every show, even the ones he isn't on, depend
True.
on him.
Well, he writes the scripts for all the ones he's not on.
Right, like he
He's
is.
our Ryan. Got it.
It's true. Let me just
So-
get
He's our Kobu.
Yeah, it really he's the heart, soul, and spirit of everything that we do. And so just we're going to be devoid and meaningless for the next week, and that's okay. But we'll have, I guess, Mistborn or Alloy of Law Friday, so we will still do that. It just definitely won't have our crazy reporter friend, and that's a real tragedy.
It is a tragedy because Cooper's there to mess with him.
I have very little idea what we're doing today. I think even where we left off, it was sort of like, okay, what do we do next? Like we're in the middle of a plan, but what next, right? So I'm excited to get in and
I have ideas.
There is this thing that's literally a giant piece of paper that has your objectives, just in case you forget. Isn't it interesting how we do those things? Don't worry, there'll be a recap.
Those ideas.
Right.
Ideas are in play.
Kelsa,
Right.
let's talk about you.
Hello. What is up with me? I don't know. I got sushi and beer because I figured I should treat myself, and so that's good.
Now, are you treating yourself or are you treat yourself?
Yes, the second
Okay,
one.
got
yeah.
you. Understood.
That's how it goes. I'm very excited because I just commissioned Erosaito for a Twitter icon of myself, and it is everything I could have possibly wanted and perfect, and it's got little kitties in the background. And
Pretty good.
So if people
I'm-
wanted to view that, they could go to @Kelsa on Twitter and just follow
That's
you while
right.
they're there.
Exactly.
I
And you can
understand.
see how adorable it is. It's super adorable. That's the way I'm tricking people into getting into following me now, is just having an adorable icon. That's how it works. You know how Twitter works, right? You can corroborate this.
Yes, I can confirm that
I need to make that investment soon.
Mm-hmm. I don't have like a huge amount of other stuff going on right now. I have like a lot of stuff that's coming up but not quite there yet, so I can talk about that when it's all official and shit. I'm excited to play today. I took a while looking at some old videos so I could remember how to do Odalys's voice, but that was 4 hours ago, so I may have forgotten already. So this is gonna be exciting.
Awesome. Great. So, any other announcements or discussions which cannot be related to Overwatch that we want to do before?
Someone remind me to talk about anime in the outros.
Okay.
I will
watching a lot of anime.
I will definitely remind you.
I announced it before, but I got Burning Wheel.
Cool. I will get my Burning Wheel book during the break, and we can talk about rolling. Yeah, Kelsa's got hers. I mean, I'm hearing that when this show gets canceled, I'm just going to have to start a Burning Wheel show. I mean, if these guys don't switch over to Alloy of Law, I'm just going to have to cancel the show. And
sorry, guys, the network's shutting us down. We're not getting the numbers.
We only got approved for a 9-episode season.
We need an Urkel. Guys, we need an Urkel to bring the show back.
We officially beat Firefly then.
I thought that's what we brought Wreckage on.
Yeah, I thought Wreckage was
Hey, nothing in my contract says the masculine love interest. I don't understand why I'm suddenly Urkel.
Isn't that what Urkel was? I seem to remember that.
He turned into that.
I mean, eventually, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
And then it was just the Urkel show.
did you
Diedrich
know that
with suspenders, right? That's a thing we're gonna do.
Did you know that show was originally intended to be the spin-off series for the cop from Die Hard? It's supposed to be about him. It's literally supposed to be about him.
Oh my gosh, that's
Too old for this
fantastic.
shit. All right, so we have a recap here from Erosaito. I'm just gonna go ahead and read it.
Ooh.
What
Oh,
awaits
wow.
us in this mysterious and incredible adventure? In the frozen mountains of Terrace, there is the city of Tathingdwen, where the crew Ashfallen has plans and plots to be on top and maybe, just maybe, help the Ska Rebellion on their way. Although it's actually the Terrace Rebellion. But yeah, last episode, we locked in that the crew is going to be attempting to make some money to position themselves more fully to take over the city. They've been meeting occasionally with representatives of the Terrace Rebellion. They are desperately seeking informants of any kind, even though right there, Valette has been failing consistently at doing
No one wants. No one.
Don't
They
even
met
worry
with
about it.
Odalys's
Number one
father,
guy is on it.
Damworth Hofquarter, and negotiated with him to be added to the discussions on who will get a new series of transportation contracts from the Canton of Inquisition to the area. Now, their competition is the Canton of Resources. They also might be opposed by local merchants and any third-party group. They've proven that they have the planning on paper. They've done their paperwork. Vyse has dotted all the forms. He's basically salthoed everything.
Cross the I's and dot the T's.
But now they need to physically have the goods. They need
that might be how that
over the next 2 weeks, prove that they have the capability to handle those contracts. And Damworth has specifically said, not going to help you out just because I'm your dad.
It's fine, Dad. It's fine.
Can't wait for the scene where we have a Star Wars Senate debate. That's going to be really interesting.
I mean,
as long as we don't have the Trade Federation guys. We'll
First
be okay.
off, this system
That's what
can
we're doing.
handle
We're
that.
negotiating with the Trade Federation.
Let's
not-
just be clear. This system can handle debating and Senate debating and campaigning. That's
But
part of the rules.
At least we're not incredibly racist.
But
That's okay.
the important part is that actually, you guys, some of you are fairly racist.
Wait. What?
You've been like, I'll get to the ska. I'll free them whenever. I mean,
Is that racist?
they're a different race, so yeah. You're treating them as if they're less than you and less important.
I
But
mean,
yeah.
are the ska less important than her, or is just everybody less important than her? Is it
Right. I don't discriminate.
Is she just equal? She discriminates equally against everyone who isn't herself.
Awesome. Amazing discussion. Something we'll answer over the next few episodes, I suppose. I want to say thanks to all the people on YouTube comments that have been predicting where the story will go. I don't know if they're correct or not, because I have no idea where the story is going to go. But I'm fascinated by what they think the voice of Valette's head is.
I saw that when I was watching that last episode again. That was really cool, actually. How everyone's like, "Oh, you're doing this. I think it could go this way." And
yeah, so
basically everything ends in Valette doing something terrible.
I haven't read the book.
So we'll see where that goes.
Speaking of seeing where things go, let's talk about this. What do we want the first scene to be? I mean, we left off at the end of the dinner table.
Did we have a breather at all?
You had a long breather last episode.
Yeah, we had a long breather right before the end of the episode.
Okay.
So you have 2 weeks. So if you wanted to take a long breather to just skip all that time, you need to demonstrate the capability to perform these actions.
Right.
Now, you could do various things like attempt to undermine your competition by officially outcrying them or physically disabling their ability. Or at some point, you should probably gather the people you need to do this. Otherwise, you will not have the people you need to do this.
I have ideas. I don't know if Valette has these ideas, but I personally have ideas.
I mean, I feel like we just need to make a checklist of what we need, right?
Well, is the first scene the Ash Fallen together planning what they need to show off their capabilities?
Yeah,
Sure.
we're in the
sounds good.
planning room TM.
Yeah.
As you know what we need to do to make this contract succeed, you have it all written out on your paperwork. Tell me, what do you think is the best first step?
Hang on, what were these contracts again?
It's a transport contract.
It's like logistics.
You're trying
basically.
to move.
Logistics
So remember, there's no canal network in the Terrace Dominance. You need to physically move goods from the center of Tathingtwen to the canal network and back.
Mm-hmm. What is the standard mode of transportation that people use for that? Is it just horse and carriage?
Horses.
Roads and then canals, right?
Yeah, but you'll be doing it via wagons pulled by horses or by ska, or in this case, Terrace.
So yeah, I guess I have the paperwork, and I'm just like, we're gonna need fucking X amount of wagons and X amount of horses and workers, of course.
Yeah. That was boring.
Do you not think that the finances of our household is with your attention?
As long as it's there, it's cool. I have an idea.
Well, I'm sure it is worth hearing at least.
Okay. So, the whole kind of reason we came up here was to get in good with the rebellion, right? Kind of.
Among other things.
Right. So what if we get them to help us with this?
Possibly two birds with one stone?
They can be the people that do the work, and then we would be in charge of it. And then they can do whatever they want to do with it,
From what I remember, the rebellion was not contacting us until further notice.
Yeah, we're not exactly. I mean, it sounds like there's a big, we would have to convince them that we deserve that.
Paul Rashik loves us, right?
I mean,
right, Vyse?
Not necessarily.
If you had more attention in these meetings, Valette, you would know what was going on.
I have a proposition that is more in line with the rebellion's desires.
I'm surprised. Please tell us, Diedrich.
Rather than get them to do our job, what if we propose to them making our competition look worse? Whoever currently has those contracts is currently hauling supplies back and forth, and if the rebellion were to knock over some transportation wagons and they didn't make it to the north, the previous person with that contract looks a lot more incapable of doing it than whoever else is applying. And that way, we're not asking them to do us a favor. They get the supplies from the transportation routes, and the fact that it makes us look good is a bonus.
It doesn't make us look good until we manage to make the transport ourselves. If we manage to just get knocked over the same, nothing.
We know where we have the funds. We just need to know what hands to put the money in, and that's something we need to get from the current people who own this contract, which I'm assuming is House Genril.
No, House General used to own it. Then they lost it, and now it's coming up for ownership again.
Right. So we need to figure out who they went to for their supplies.
So
You know,
House
who they
General
bought
handled it.
their-
They handled it in-house with their own wagons.
Yeah, my family just has enough wagons and enough servants. It wasn't really a contracting thing.
Mm.
I mean, you saw what happened during the revolts. Those were all House General men.
It's true. They did have quite a caravan of wagons.
I mean, there's one noble family in the north, and there are a bunch of like city transportation wagons. I imagine that company doesn't do remarkably great business and might have a much more lucrative contract for transportation if we can afford it.
The funds shouldn't be an issue. I've properly budgeted the remainder of our holds.
So we turn the taxis into caravanners, because they would make the taxi company would get more money from that than they're currently getting from occasionally transporting us back and forth through the city. And now we just need men to guard the caravan. That's a little trickier.
That sounds like a fascinating idea, but the problem I see with it is if these taxi men are no longer providing taxi services, and then there's a void there in the city.
But it's a void that
Well, we don't necessarily need the men. We just need some of their wagons.
they may have.
Caravanners elsewhere.
It's possible they outfit themselves, repair their own wagons. They might have a depot.
I'm curious
This
what's
was
going
my
on with
idea
Valette there.
initially,
Like I
Valette.
see facial expressions.
She's just doing. She's just like thinking to herself and just kind of doing that occasionally, like.
Yeah. Odalys is trying to get you back into the conversation because you've been kind of quiet, and now you're making all these faces, and she's like, "Tell me, what is on your mind?"
Well, if there's a depot, doing something to it might undermine our opponents, especially if I guess we have to figure out who owns it first, though.
I hate to be a negative Nancy, but with the contracts coming up right now, if caravan depots start burning down, that certainly is hard to. I mean, it becomes one of those things like, I can't prove that you did it, but I know you did it, and so now I got my eye on you.
It's too obvious.
Remember, there's
Yeah.
multiple parties involved here, and it is kind of standard tactics for the Final Empire.
Yeah, well, we got to target the people, or we got to target the stuff.
So
I like
Why don't-
targeting the stuff more than the people, but we do still need to hire.
But first, we need to get our own stuff.
I mean, I
Before
still
we-
think the best thing we can do right now to undermine anybody that doesn't in any way come back to us is see if the rebellion is willing to knock over some of those caravans, make the current contract holders look incompetent. Otherwise, there's a proclivity to go with whoever is currently doing it, unless something is unsatisfactory. So
Yeah.
now, if somebody else is applying, we actually have to know that they're applying in order to undermine them. That's going to be a little bit more difficult.
Perhaps I can get that information at the least from my father. Vyse, can you...
He sounded pretty much like he was really not going to help us.
I don't need it to be as a help. Basically, I'm going to try to manipulate him into thinking that he's discouraging me by telling me who I'm up against instead of actually helping me.
Legitimate tactic.
It's a legitimate strategy.
It's a strategy. It is it's a strategy.
It would be if I didn't have this card.
Pot of greed!
We haven't discussed it, but if Uno is anime, is still the best fucking
It's a
anime.
wild draw 4 card.
Wild draw 4 card.
So great.
Anyway.
With 6 cards in his hand and only 1 in mine.
And then it turns out there is an Uno anime. And then you sort of feel
It's
dark.
probably not as good as the one I just saw.
So, I mean, just to coalesce some things here, find out who our other competition is, maybe get the rebellion to undermine the current contract holder, and maybe we go to the taxi company to see if we can buy their wagons, ... That sounds like 3 perfectly reasonable steps that we might as well just do.
Might as well do all of them. They seem to work quite well together.
Well,
I guess we just have to divvy up the duties then.
right. Well, you have the money, and you have the dad, and you are, you're super interested in having informants and stuff. So I'll watch the estate.
You're gonna do.
Diedrich, I think that you have some connections that perhaps you can exploit to help out your wife.
None, actually. I'm probably the least influential man in Terrace.
Perfect. That means no one will suspect you.
I'm
Diedrich
curious,
sort of like,
Wreckage, didn't you actually improve your influence the other day? Wasn't that a thing?
Resources.
Resources. Okay.
yeah, I still have 3 influence, which is not nothing, but is basically nothing.
I'm slightly more influential, having not lived here my
Isn't
entire
that
life.
the same number of spirit dice you have on your
No, I've got
luck bender?
4s. Oh yeah, on my luck bender. I've got 3 spirit dice on my luck bender. I
Don't
mean,
worry, I know how many dice you
I have
have.
a set number of points to work with at character creation, people. Spirit will be the first thing to upgrade as time goes forward.
All right, so you're gonna go to your dad. You're gonna do money stuff. What should we do?
You and perhaps me are trying to talk to the rebellion, I guess, to ask if they want to
Okay.
start hitting over caravans.
Pulver Sheik likes me.
I don't even think that we can get in touch with them. Like, they need to get in touch
I
with
know
us.
where he works.
What?
Yeah, Vyse and I went there.
Okay.
I don't
where-
think he worked there. I think he was just
He did.
there at the time.
No, you saw him punch carding out. He's a laborer at the Canton of Resource Facility.
Well, all right then.
Valette is, Valette might be a little flaky, but she's completely correct about this.
So it's just like,
Arthur, is there a legitimate reason for noble families to be visiting the Canton of Resources?
Dollar bills.
Dollar bills,
I
y'all.
mean, that's where you do. I mean, think of it this way: any monetary transaction you do in the Final Empire has to be signed and witnessed by an obligator. So,
right.
if you're like, I want to buy a carriage, you got to go to an obligator and be like, hey, I'm gonna buy a carriage for the day. Boop.
well,
So
then that makes the perfect cover. I'll handle the financial
if you want a
business. while
bank,
Rick and Valette talk to Paul Rashik.
Yeah.
feel as though Diedrich's understanding of the proceedings of House Genril will aid him in negotiating with the resistance. Surely you know how their caravans operate. You could tell them.
Yeah.
Right?
All right. Let's do this. Husband and wife.
I think I went
Getting
on
things done.
one of those once when I was like 12, I guess.
You gotta get yourself psyched. Come on. You got this.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll do it. Hooray. Go team.
Ah,
Do we ever decide which last name we're taking? Like, are you Martell? Am I General?
I think my dad would probably castrate me if I changed my last name.
Uh,
He's sort of wishy-washy on what's
I
going
want
on.
to remind you, you were told that you belong to House Genril now.
Martell.
I mean, Martell. Yeah, that's what he said.
And then he immediately doubled back on that and said, "You're still with us, right?" So, like, he's probably
But he wants
the most
you undercover.
wishy-washy individual.
Yeah, you belong to him, but he needs you to look like you belong to somebody else.
on a deep cover mission.
Uh-huh. Right.
Double agent.
We
More
were
like
all
a-
misborn once.
Quadruple.
We're all Mistborn now.
I mean,
Mistborn reigns from above. It doesn't keep working.
I don't know. Listen, I hate to break up the show to do an Overwatch thing, but
I'm gonna do it anyway.
the cart map where I think it's Gibraltar, where you have to push the cart down and then back up. I watched a Pharaoh do Justice Reigns from above from the bottom point up to shoot somebody off the cart, and they literally just hopped off the cart and used it as a shield, and I was like, Justice reigns from below. It sucks.
So,
Yeah. So I think we have our plan, right? Like,
So
Odalys
what do you want to do first?
for the lead,
All right.
and then we're doing other things.
yeah.
Sho-
So I guess
Show
it's-
me your moves. Who's showing your capabilities first?
Yeah, who wants to do their thing first?
And just remember, you have an objective here that says undermine the competition, so doing that will earn the group an advancement.
Yep.
Well, so we could find out what our competition is, or okay, so the only thing that can't be first is me and my wife going to the Canton of Resources, because we can only go there under the cover of the purchase that Vyse is going to make.
I mean, you can go there under the cover of doing literally anything. You can be like, I'd like to check my bank account.
Yeah, but it makes
I'm owed a free toaster for starting a checking account here.
if we go to.
I'm getting that toaster.
What's a toaster?
Add Diedrich as a signer on the House Martell fund.
Ooh,
It,
yeah.
That is a
I don't know.
bad idea.
I don't know if
You say that, and Diedrich is like, "That is a bad idea."
No, Odalys would never actually suggest that. That was
No, I'm just saying it makes more sense, more convincing cover if we go to the taxi depot where they store the wagons, ask how much their asking price for some of their wagons are, and when we're withdrawing that funds, that's when you guys.
That's when we strike.
Right. So the point is, either Odalys or you have to go first.
Yes.
Yep, either one's good.
So is this like the next day, or because I think we ended like
At like
after
a
dinner
party.
After the dinner party with Odalys's father.
Yeah, maybe it's early morning or whatever, and we're having this meeting,
So,
and we're just sort of like, okay, break.
I ask again, who wants to go first? Show me your moves.
So that's I mean,
Uh,
that's
I'll let
not that
Kelsa go
character's
first.
voice.
All right, so I'm gonna go. The thing is that I feel like I have to wait a day to give some cooling off period before.
I mean, time is relatively irrelevant if you want to say, and I wait a day.
Yeah, it can be like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we only have 2 weeks to pull off the whole plan, but
We can keep the same plan during a short breather, right?
Yep.
Okay, we can probably just short breather it and take a few days. Or something.
We don't need to, though. We can wait a day.
Short breather's only one day.
right.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's
You
what we want.
can't do anything with a short breather anyway, can you?
You're gonna regenerate a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, if anybody has stuff they need to keep healing up, we can do that.
I
Spent
think I'm
things.
fully.
Like I had a spent resource point, so
That works.
could help with that.
Yeah, do a day or two and then
Take a day breather then.
cool.
I don't have any temporary. I don't have anything, so I'm fine. So the next day, after there's like a full 24 hours in between, I'm gonna have a social visit with my father.
Okay. Where
Because,
is it and who's attending?
It's just the two of us. But it's like at a cafe or whatever, so it's semi-public, but you know, a nobleman's cafe, so the people there are trained to not listen. And there's like, you know,
Are you sure they're not trained to listen hard and pretend they're not listening? Or is that might be a thing you just don't catch because nobles would never be listened in on?
never.
I know for a fact that they get listened in on
Yeah, they totally get
because it
listened.
happened to me.
Spring for
multiple
the
times.
privacy.
But
booth.
the point is this is a conversation that I don't care if somebody listens in on.
Okay.
Because the point is to get him to give me this information in such a way that he doesn't think that he's helping me, and it would.
So
take
you're gonna try to trick him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try to trick him.
That sounds like we have laid out. Now, is this going to be a contest, just one roll, or is it going to be a conflict where we try to break him down on a mental level where you're like, oh, I'm gonna outmaneuver my dad, and then he's gonna give me what I want to know.
I mean, we can keep it simple.
Okay, so just a contest, which is just one roll, and if you fail, you're gonna get complications.
Right.
Okay. So
I don't think this is like a big thing. This is like a, you know, we should keep better ties, especially now that we're both here in the same city.
Is that what your invitation?
Yeah.
Okay, so can I add to the scene that he's there when you get there, and he's like reading your letter while sipping on a cup of like porcelain cup of tea?
Sure.
And he's like looking at your letter and like, yes, Odalys, so glad to see you again. As I've mentioned, I can't help you with your business problems, but it's always good to see my daughter.
I would never ask you to do such a thing, Father.
And he's looking at you like, get out of town now.
They're coming for you. I can't help it where you're going.
Father, I figured since we are both here, we might as well spend more time together. It's been a long time. 1-2 dinners is not enough. Tell me how you've been.
Well, been a interesting time, you know. Haven't been able to find a new wife, but I have been seeing the head of the House of Genril for some time. Very nice lady, Albril.
This is getting really complicated.
Huh.
Sorry, that was out of character. Yeah, there's like one eyebrow.
Yeah,
raise.
and it's kind of like a confession from your dad where he's a little embarrassed. It's not that he blushes, but he probably didn't expect to be talking about this. And yes, well, beyond that, my work keeps me busy, tracking the terrace, making sure that they're doing exactly what they need to. I have specifically been a part of, tracking down the rebellion, making sure that they go to the... And then he realizes where he is, and that there's like ton of terror servants around, and he's like, making sure they get back to the breeding compound for re-education, where there will then be released back into the population. It's such rewarding work, educating the terrorists. They're such a pliable people, so ready to learn. He nods at a servant who comes over and refills his teacup.
That sounds like your business is much less complicated than mine.
Maybe we get a look at his eyes and they're totally dead. And there's a quick flashback, probably involving him and a bunch of hemalurgic spikes sticking out the back of different terrorist people, just like him stabbing terrorist people in the chest repeatedly over and over again, just real quick, 6 of them, ah, and then another was ah, and then one where he's driving one through some guy's eye, he's like, yes, my work is incredibly boring and nothing ever happens.
Yeah. So after tea and cakes, or whatever, and more small talk where I comment about how fascinating it is that my association with House General through my dear niece's wedding to their prodigal son and his associations with the leader of the house. Isn't that a funny coincidence? Kind of segues into like other business that is around, and basically as subtly as possible trying to bait him into telling me who my competition is.
Yeah, you're trying to bait him into do you even know who you're up against?
Yeah,
Everything
exactly.
about your enemy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see here. I think this is definitely going to be a mental contest, and let's set it up. You are using, I'm assuming, wits to trick him, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
This is a kind of interrogation, so he can defend with a number of different things. So how would he go about, like, not being tricked by you? I mean, spirit. It's spirit, to see if he notices. So, yeah. You're trying to break him down, and he's just like, none of these things. I can't speak on this, Odalys. You know about this, and I mean, there is that thing involving the and he stops, and yeah, like he keeps starting to say stuff and then stopping. Let's go ahead and make some rolls and gather some dice pools, not in that order.
Okay. So definitely wits. I'm gonna say ambitious house and pragmatic. I don't know if pragmatic actually applies here. I feel like I want it to, but I don't know if I'm just greedy for dice. And then I wanted to tap my cheat sheet with what all this stuff does is on the other place. Zinc, that's what it is. To give me a bonus die of mental acuity.
So you're just pulling one in from zinc?
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's subtle. I don't. Yeah.
Tap zinc. You gain 1 for charge and wits. Okay, so you're trying to outtalk your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He is rolling spirit, and he is using his traits of unquestionable authority and people are playthings. Just basically be like, no, Odalys, this isn't something I'm going to... You can't trick me. I'm your father. I insist we talk about
Daddy,
these cakes.
I want it
I
now.
want it.
These cakes are delicious, young lady, and you will comment upon the lemony flavor.
I've already commented on
Care how
please.
I want it.
Does
Definitely
dilettante
the Veruca Salt of Mistborn.
apply here? I feel like it might.
Sorry, what was the question?
Dilettante?
I don't know that dilettante's going to apply here. Is there some way that you've used it in the conversation so far?
I'm used to talking around subjects in tea rooms.
I will accept that. We have used it for such in the past.
Awesome. And were you going to give me pragmatic, yes or no?
Oh, man.
Because I feel like it could apply, but I also feel like it wouldn't at the same time.
Actually look up what pragmatic meant.
Yeah, I don't think pragmatic's going to matter here because rather than... I think pragmatic's mostly like going directly for the most obvious option rather than just being like, I'm going to talk around this problem. It's like, oh, there's a wall. I hit the wall and it falls down. Rather than be like, I look for a secret door.
What? No, pragmatic is best solution.
Pragmatic is dealing with things sensibly and realistically.
Right. Which I don't see how that is not
antithetical to sneakiness.
In a way that is based on practicality rather than theoretical considerations.
Yeah.
And getting the
Synonyms
information.
are matter of fact, down to earth.
I don't
Yeah, so
think it's gonna.
if you were
apply
like
here.
directly being like, look,
Yeah. All right. We're gonna. I'll
Yeah,
skip
if
it.
you were charging into this conversation, it'd be one thing.
did you already take Ambitious House? Because that totally
did.
fits.
I did.
Ambitious House.
I was gonna say that totally
Okay.
fits.
It
How many
def-
dice were we rolling? I got 7.
Ocho.
Nice.
ESPN 8.
I think there's a paired 5 in there. Nope.
Nope,
Paired
nothing.
2s.
Nothing. Get a pair.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay.
Oh, that was actually Daisy's roll. So now we have to
No,
go back.
Lose a turn.
I fixed it.
With this skip card,
boy.
I changed the
I
name,
can't
but I
wait to
didn't
see
hit
your
save.
face break out into tears. All right. So he needs to. Oh no, there's no complications. You succeed by a huge margin, right? You succeed by a 3-point margin. So, what is it you're saying that tricks him? What's the last blow that causes him to be like, well, I'm talking about stuff now. There's no going back.
I think it is. Ooh, that's a low blow. I bring up my mother.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cold-blooded.
Super cold.
Guess you're using your shit. What's the metal? What's the fucking metal that lets you? What's the metal that lets you store body heat?
Oh, brass.
Guess you're using your brass right now because you're super cold-blooded.
Super cold-blooded. Yeah. So I think I think she makes some kind of comment about how making her, I know that you're worried about, like, I know that you're worried about me, Papa, but Mother would be so proud of what I've done here.
Yeah.
And I think like that, like with like the implication of what I'm doing, what I'm working towards, my heritage and everything, just kind of is going to be what pushes him over the edge to be like, you don't know what you're getting into. Here's all of these facts that you were missing. You know what I mean?
So you're just like, oh man, Ma will be proud. We got this business in the bag.
Oh God! All right, so yeah, I have the information he's going to give you. I got to figure out how to work it into a conversation. Being an improvising GM is so difficult. So he's just like, listen, God, you're sounding like that merchant Philo. I mean, ever since she left the breeding compound with her education, she's just been going on about her cart business and how she should be the one getting these contracts. Really, she's just a complete pain in my rock-solid posterior. I'm tired, Odalys, of having to listen to her harp on constantly. Why doesn't she just go to the Canton of Resource and work for them? It's ridiculous. And you know what? For another thing, where did House General go? I don't understand. They aren't bidding on this contract at all. Why haven't you talked to Diedrich about this? It's ridiculous. Why would they give up this completely lucrative contract? It doesn't make any sense. They seem to be using all of their wagons for nothing now. They just sit around their keep, doing nothing with them. I have no idea what's going on there. But you know what? Inquisitor Falcom has personally expressed interest in making sure that your house stays in the game here and be allowed to compete. So... And then he looks around, he's like, I guess I said a little bit more than I should have. And just, like, sips at his tea, like... Oh, just
it's all
like
in this
your mother.
holotape.
I like to imagine he pulls his cloak over his head quickly, like, I've said too much.
No. I mean, he's a high
I must
priest.
flee.
He doesn't flee. He makes other people leave. He's just like, oh, you're like both of your mothers. Such a... Is there something you want to do with your nudge? Because you have a little extra swing there.
Ooh, oh right.
Yep.
Where's that little cheat sheet that tells me what I can do with nudges?
I would use the reveal something else about the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just a little bit more.
Is that a thing I can do?
Yeah, so you want to gain a new detail or hint about the situation?
Yeah, that would be the complication of the character suffers an unfortunate misstep. The misstep being him speaking more than he would.
Yeah, so it's not going to be speaking. You see him like open his cloak to get a handkerchief, and inside there's like a letter from Falcom. It's huge. Like it's clearly written by an Inquisitor because it's all in the Inquisition language. You know,
it's on metal.
Yeah, it's all the weird metal symbols that are all put together. And the front part of the letter is just like, Damworth, you failed me for the last time, kind of deal. It's the Lord Vader speech from Falcom to Damworth Hofquarter.
So you say Lord Vader, but I imagine it like Megatron talking to Starscream. Failed me for the last time.
And so just many like last times.
Yeah.
You will betray me and then re-betray the Autobots.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, we finish our little luncheon, and I take all of these new secrets home with me.
Yeah, so he closes his cloak and like doesn't really notice a letter there, like accidentally stuffs it back into his pocket. Like, oh, I guess that fell out a little bit.
I want to lose this.
So I guess he throws a couple boxings on the table to pay for the meal and is like, well, if this is how we're going to do things, Odalys, perhaps we should have dinners at my place in the future.
That sounds lovely, Father. Papa, I'll be there. Friday?
I don't think they don't actually name the days of the weeks.
Whatever.
But yeah, if you're like, I'll be there in a fortnight, he'll be like, excellent.
Yeah. Sure.
He'll meet you Fridays.
Well, there's Lord Ruler Day 1, Lord Ruler Day 2, Lord Ruler Day 3.
Right.
I actually assumed that there would probably be like Lord Ruler Day and then the names of like the people who helped him up the side of the mountain, right? Like Pac-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would be in keeping with the story.
I mean, that's
not Rashik.
That's the way that Alloy of Law works.
Never Rashik.
Way too egocentric.
Rashik.
It's probably like Lord Ruler Day, and then he defeated the Deepness Day.
Oh yeah, Deepness Day.
Praise be unto
Day.
him Day.
Praise be unto him.
His
day.
immortal rulerness
Shall
Day.
never die Day.
Like, and then maybe there's a like Canton Day.
And then there's
Canton
Friday,
Orthodoxy
the
Day.
day that you eat only fried goods.
You'll be seeing your dad soon. Star Fox Day. Do a barrel roll day.
Andros, you show your true form Day.
Okay.
Uncle Andros.
All right. Well, now that we've seen a letter in this character's pocket, now he's gonna get up and leave, and Odalys has to sneak and follow him and pickpocket him, right?
Yeah, of course. This is Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we have the scene where he's like, but I have this important letter that I have to deliver right now, and I'm gonna walk really weird in a weird circular direction until I get there.
If it was Assassin's Creed, then they would have been walking through the city this whole time. The conversation.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Well, I
Odalys would have to tail him slowly.
And I would have done that thing that calls like all the hookers to stand around me and disguise somehow.
Yeah. That was easy mode. Just
Yeah.
follow you around.
It's easy. No problem.
You got to do the Skyrim thing where there's a letter that just explains the entire job and why they need to kill you and where you can find the person who posted it. And at the bottom it says, burn this letter.
I was thinking like the Fallout thing where I just need to reverse pickpocket some armor onto him.
Of course, yeah.
Put some grenades in his pocket.
Poison? Why do I suddenly feel so... Who put this thing in my pocket and why did it break?
Yeah.
I must have got my lethal poison out of my pants this morning. I don't know why. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to do here, or are you just exiting scene left?
I think I'm just exiting.
I'm assuming that Odalys gives the rest of the party the info dump, right?
Yeah.
Is that happening, or is everybody else simultaneously performing their actions?
I don't think it's simultaneous.
I mean, I know
Okay.
that Diedrich and Valette were waiting on Vyse's action, and if he knew that Odalys was digging up leads, then he would wait for her to report back.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I get back to the situation room and
Oh Jesus!
I
Number
lead,
one, what's your report?
I lead with the news that I'm not going to lead with that. I'm trying to think of the way to break it to.
You don't
to
want to
do-
let him know that his grandmother is doing your
Yeah.
dad?
I want like Kelsa wants to say those things, but I think Odalys is like, we'll leave that on the DL.
Now you know a secret.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys about this merchant's Phyla. Is it Philo or Phyla? I can't even.
Phillo. Philo.
Milo.
Does she make dough?
Philo.
No.
Cool.
Philo does not make dough. There's no Philo dough in this world. Anybody? Philo dough. It's you make pastry. Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm not a
That's what it's all
baker.
about.
Not a pastry chef here.
Okay. Merchant Philo.
Do I look like a pastry chef over here?
Contract, something about. Oh yeah, Diedrich. Why is it that your father is giving up this contract? This has been my concern before, and
Well,
There's
okay,
a
so he
my
doesn't have it now. We used to have it, and I was pretty sure that he was going to be interested in going after it again, but I guess he isn't. Because you're sort of bringing that up.
perhaps you should have a speaking with your father.
I mean, this is also part of the weird metals that he has thing, right? Like, our armory is in overdrive, and
Actually, did I ever get a chance? Did you guys show me that medal?
yeah,
No.
actually, we did a knowledge check last time.
Oh, that's right. You did.
And
Oh,
she-
Oh
did-
yeah.
But did I actually get to touch it? I feel like I
No.
did
No.
not.
No, we that was back at the actual breeding place or the
But
mine.
you told me about it, and I
Yeah.
did a knowledge check, and I could not remember what it
Yeah.
No,
It's
it
like-
wasn't at the mine. It was after, because it was after she saw it on my brother when they did the collision thing. Then we had
It was
then
last
we-
episode.
we touched base about it. So yeah, so she did do a knowledge thing. So I can say, yeah, that weird metal thing that we've all talked about, and the armory is in overdrive, and that's probably why the wagons aren't doing a thing. Like, I have no idea what's going on, but something's going on.
It's some. Do we still have like some of that, or did it get hand waved away during a long breather?
It disappears at the end of a long breather because it's a prop, unless you took
Yep.
it as part of your thing. So it probably got used in like sciencing or something.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if there was.
Science.
I had wanted to do this, but I had forgotten to actually touch it and see if it was ferrochemically
Now
pure.
that occurs to you.
But it's too late now. Like I had the idea, but maybe Odalys did not. And what else? My other note. Shit, Falcom has a personal interest in this. I'm slightly concerned. Also, he's told me that Inquisitor Falcom has a personal interest in seeing that we have a fair shake in this. And I'm not certain I like having the attention of the Inquisitor.
I'm pretty sure, like after you rattle off each point, you hear the same reaction from Vyse, where he's like, "This changes everything," and starts writing news.
So out of
Like,
character.
you mean they're not in the bidding? This changes everything.
So out of character, isn't what he said that he had a interest in us remaining competitive?
Malcolm said
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. He wants us to be competitive for this contract.
Which is good because we want to be competitive.
That's really weird though. ...
Yeah.
I mean, in the short term, it seems like he's not gonna get in our way for now,
Yeah.
but he probably has ulterior motives.
Yeah. Why would an Inquisitor want us to do anything?
I'm going to take a stab at that one. My father's doing something really weird with House General. He obviously doesn't want. Maybe the Inquisitors know that something's up, and they don't want my dad to control a bunch of things up here because he's making a power play, and they don't like that. Dot dot dot.
Mm.
On the other hand, it could be because they want something from House Mattel. They want to peg us or something, and they need us into.
It does seem likely that the Canton would want to shift the power if another noble house is in the area to more of a balance rather than a monopoly.
Yeah, if my father's getting too big for his britches, then us being more powerful is the best way to keep him contained.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
That's just a thought. I like having a working theory more than just, oh, well, that's nice. Let's not think about it.
Well, maybe you can take your time and speak with your father on this, or maybe someone within your household that would have some knowledge of his workings.
Look, there's nobody in House General that I know that is more on my side than on my dad's side, except maybe Grandmama. She
Not grandma.
but if anybody doesn't know,
Like, okay, because this has to come up, and I did not say it. And you say, except for maybe Grandmama, there's this look that passes across Odalys's face that you can't quite tell what it is, but it's like sort of a smile, but also almost disgust. Like both of them at the same time.
Yeah, like you're smiling because it's funny, but you're disgusted because ooh.
it's
Yeah.
she's also the only person that Dad would really super make sure didn't know, like that he was undermining her authority and doing things with house resources. So yeah, as much as I could talk to her, she probably doesn't know anything.
And then perhaps if you let her know that this is going on, or more likely not going on, it will indebted her to you.
Grandmas are supposed to be nice, right?
Oh, she's a total sweetheart, and she's also a little like I go to her and say, "Hey, Dad's undermining your authority as house," and then she says, "Diedrich just told me that you're undermining my authority," and then my dad talks it out, and then I never am heard from again because he's tied me up in the dungeon and spilled my entrails.
And then perhaps this would be another situation where you should team up with your wife. Valette has a way with words. And maybe she can convince your grandmother that this is true, and also that she should not bring up where the information came from.
Yeah, I haven't met her yet.
I strongly vote against that plan. I think it can only lead to negative outcomes as much as the positive outcome is kind of like meh. Like, we're sort of focused on the contracts here, and with House General out of that, that's a tangent, right? Like, whatever they're doing
Knowing
is...
why House General is out of the contract may be as important as getting the contract.
You might say it would help us undermine our competition.
Why? Let's focus on gaining this contract. And if we need to investigate House General, my dad might even just say something in the next few days. You never know with him.
He does like to talk about what he wants to do.
One day he's like, "I'm selling you to House Mattel for groceries."
I should be the one to get this information out of your father.
I mean, he has no expectation of your loyalty. Therefore, you can't betray him, and therefore he can't draw and quarter you.
He has a certain expectation of something.
It's sex, Diedrich.
Thank you, wife.
What else would it be? What were you thinking?
I was trying to dance around that issue.
Well, as long as we're talking about it.
Oh?
I mean...
And I'm like looking expectantly at Valette, actually, when I say that. And I look at Diedrich, back at Valette.
Oh, okay. Now, Adam, get
I'm sorry, I stroked out there for a second.
It's fine.
Seems a little unrelated to the task at hand, don't you?
We now know who our main person who's bidding against this contract, other than the people who currently have it. We know that person's name, and I'm content as a cucumber if we have that vegetable in this world to focus our energy on undermining their position. Just tell me what needs to burn down. I'll go do it. It's that's way more in my wheelhouse than trying to do all this house politicking with Mima.
It's fun.
I mean, meanwhile, you have politicking to do with the resistance, as I believe.
Yeah, I don't want that job. Send me to burn something down.
That's fun too.
Perhaps Valette, you alone can get some time with Mima, as he put it.
I mean, he also can't draw and quarter you, although, come to think of it, some pretty bad things might happen. I mean, we'll just make sure.
He should no longer have the right to draw and quarter you. That is my responsibility. But I'm not going to threaten you with that, even though you are going quite against what I have asked multiple times.
Should probably also look into what House Genril is using their carts for if they're not bidding this contract. They seem to have a standing army the last time we saw them mobilize their carts.
I do believe that was part of what it's important to find out. They are not two separate things.
Okay.
At least you are a good child.
I mean, you paid like some groceries for me. You get what you pay for.
I'm very certain you stole that apple.
I don't have money.
So I think this is the point that your house steward shuffles into the room.
Shuffle.
Gar,
Is that
and
Gar?
he's just like,
Yeah, Gear.
"Excuse me, unfortunately, I was going to make a nice apple pie, but all of the apples are gone, Madam Odalys. Is there something else you'd like me to prepare for tonight? This is a tragedy. I apologize. I'll sharply beat all of these terracemen until they tell me who took them."
It was me.
I have no words.
So I think
If you
Please
wish
don't
to
be
have
terrible.
apples, Lord Diedrich, you could simply ask, and then none of the kitchen boys would get smacked on the back of the head.
So I think Vyse stands up from the desk here, the ledger closing, and I'm like, the meeting's adjourned, Gare. There's no need to worry about preparing anything.
Are you sure you don't want to have dinner prepared for when you get back?
What kind of dinner is an apple pie? That's like dessert.
That is dessert, sir.
Well, then we just lose
You want to
weight.
have dinner without dessert? My
Dinner without
Lord
dessert?
Ruler, we aren't savages.
That is not how House Motel has dinner, no. Yeah, do we have the necessities for some baklava?
I suppose we could make kiwi pie or something like that.
That sounds fantastic.
Hop to it, Gare. I've got business to attend to.
So
It's okay,
you
Diedrich, you'll
push
learn.
past him, you're literally like, get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like when
Give
you
him a
say
pat
that,
on the back.
Of
Like-
course, your
like
young,
Odalys-
young Lord Vyse. Anything you need.
Odalys swells with pride as you just tell him to get out of the way and about your business.
He seems really insistent, so I'm not going to have this talk with
As
him.
Vyse walks down the hall and we see the shot Gare behind him, he whips out a pair of sunglasses while taking care of business plays on the soundtrack. Sounds like you need to take an advancement to get the confident trait soon. Yeah, let's talk about where Vyse is going. Taking care of business.
Vyse is going to Philo, the terrace cart
Okay,
merchant,
yeah.
to negotiate prices, and then he will be going to the Canton of Resources with Diedrich and Valette.
So Philo, you arrive at her like cartage company. She is an unusually tall, scholarly, bookish, glasses falling off the end of her nose. Definitely has ink stains on her fingers, and sees you approaching and like slams her book shut, and then opens it. Is like, ah, yes, my lord, I am Philo. Welcome to my cartage. Is there some place we can transport you today? And she like uses her long, graceful limbs to, like distract you with weird body language movements that the Terrors people do sometimes.
Look at this.
Yeah, she like you've seen Terrors do that.
What are you boying?
It's like a way to psychologically calm people. It's like talking to a very slow Italian.
I have a clarification question, Arthur.
Yes.
Philo is that our competition or the people that
Philo
we
is the person selling the carts who is very desperate and wondering why Genro isn't going to her for the contract.
Philo is a third party that's looking to enter the competition.
She's our competition.
She is one of your competitions. The
okay,
other
so if we so
being
basically the point is to either get rid of her or buy her out.
So she's just looking
she
you
asks
over.
if I'm looking for transportation.
Yeah, she's like, my lord, are you looking to head somewhere?
Not transportation per se. How many carts would you say you have in this establishment?
Several dozen.
And
many of
are
them
they for sale?
Are they for sale? I can sell you a cart for the day. We come with a very experienced terrace driver. Highly educated. He knows all of the streets and all of the routes to most locations within the Dominance.
I mean, that might be good, but we need... I was looking for a more permanent purchase.
I can arrange to sell you a carriage, perhaps, my lord. Is that something you're looking for?
No, carriage won't do. I'm looking for a cart that can transport cargo.
How unusual. Of course. I can certainly sell this to you, my lord.
Vyse Martel.
House Martel. I see. And she like starts making subtle like hand sign gestures of people around her, and they all start leaving the room. Yes, of course I can sell you a cart, Vyse Martel.
One cart is not enough, you see. We will need multiple.
I'm afraid that I only have one cart for sale. I need the remainder for business purposes. You understand that my work is ongoing.
It's too bad.
Well, what if someone were to buy your business?
So she's like, my business is not for sale.
Everything has a price.
I find that while... Oh god, she can't be snarky because she's terrorist. Shit. This is hard. It's hard playing a like subservient. Some things are not for sale, my lord. My ethics and my values and the contracts I need to complete all require me to have the business that I have.
Well, then perhaps we can employ your business to fulfill our contracts. Think of it as an extended business venture.
An extended business venture. You're suggesting a partnership between Philo's Cartage and House Martel?
Yes, we will use your carts and your business to complete our contracts, and in return you will...
Contracts? Is there a specific contract you have in mind?
I'll just... is it like public knowledge that this contract is up for?
No, it is not. In fact,
and it's also not public knowledge that she's involved.
Oh, I see.
Remember, that's a secret that you pulled out.
Just the various contracts that House Martel is interested in. ...
Yeah, something
it's like, I mean, no specifics, just in general, we would be...
Perhaps specifics would be important. I would hate for these parts to be under or overutilized.
Don't you talk over me.
Their wear is
Smack.
that would not be out of place, actually.
How
Yeah,
dare
but
you
Vyse
question
is soft-spoken, so
filth.
he wouldn't do that. He would just be like, "Oh, okay, you're talking now. I'll wait."
use that 5 physique, man.
So yeah, I guess his response is just like, I guess I'll just pull out the paperwork I brought with me, and it's like, look, we're prepared to offer an extended payment of large sums of money to bring your business under our wing, so to speak.
So what you're doing is you're literally going to buy them on behalf of House Martell and
Yes.
employ them for all future endeavors.
Yes, that's what I'm doing, and I'm
And
just
eliminate the
gonna do
competition in
Yeah.
one fell swoop.
Okay, so I see.
And I would include something, and I'm like, of course, you still have independent run of your own business and would receive a cut of any revenue.
It sounds to me like you are attempting to make a resources check to acquire this company.
Yeah,
All right.
that's what I'm doing. I'm
The
showing her
other-
the dollar signs.
There's a second way to do this, and that would be to enter a conflict with her where you convince her that this would be a good idea. If it's an influence, if it's a resources check, let me know and I'll tell you the difficulty.
I think I'm gonna go with resources.
Okay,
That's my
all right.
biggest-
It
I
is
might
a
as well
resources
swing
for check to acquire a company at this level of.
Okay.
Yeah,
it. All right.
I mean, you're
let's-
basically hiring the company that has all of the carts. Bringing them under your wing will be a significant boon for you.
What traits do I have? Do I have can I call apprentice into this?
No, you're acting on your own.
Yeah, but last
Yeah, but don't
time
I
he
get
totally
my-
called Prentice on business stuff because that was what he was apprenticing on.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say yes for now, but I think we might want to rewrite apprentice to master businessman at some point. If you want to pay a trait or pay an advancement to alter the trait or something.
Maybe. But
Vyse
then
has changed quite a lot.
But I can only spend one advancement like on one thing at a
I
time.
know it sucks.
I know.
Changing traits is kind of hard.
It's like, why waste it on changing traits when you could upgrade your powers or
Yeah, right.
upgrade your physique?
But anyway, all right, I'm swinging 7 dice at this.
So you're using resources 6 plus apprentice.
Yes.
Okay, you're looking to hit a 4.
Yeah, I don't think anything will apply there.
Is there a sense of danger because they're the competition? I mean,
No,
probably.
I
not.
mean, if there was, you've already
mean-
blown it, right? You've literally been like, we're interested in this contract. And then you're like, here's the paperwork that we need. We've done our homework.
Have you
He's
done
actually
yours?
not revealing that part of things, though.
No, I'm not. I'm not revealing what contract we're going after. I'm just showing her the dollar sign of how much we're gonna do this company buyout for.
How about soft spoken in that case?
Maybe I could do soft spoken
I will,
because
You're
I
I
can't
will
spread
allow
all over
soft-spoken.
me.
You specifically not only didn't backhand her, but allowed her to reprimand you in certain ways, which was totally unheard of for someone not of just of your rank, but
That's
of your
true.
standing.
You're slow rolling it. You're
So
very
maybe
gentle.
she's like, yeah, maybe she's got it in her.
Come to House Martell.
Yeah, there
Maybe
you go.
she's got it in her head now because I'm soft spoken. You know, like maybe this isn't your average
Maybe
noble.
this isn't. I heard about him from the Resistance. He's not totally shit.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so I'm swinging 8.
I'm also
dice
pretty
and a
interested
difficulty
in how
4.
you still have scrawny when your physique is 5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He could just be fast.
yeah. I like.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, not
You
as
know,
fast
I'm not
as Flip
like-
Carson, but
You know, I'm not like jacked, but I'm not necessarily. You know, I'm not like emaciated or anything.
Yarp.
But I'm not like a bodybuilder.
I mean, still, you're
has
All right, what do we got? Pair of 4s, nailed it.
Yeah.
and a nudge.
And you
And a
have a
nudge.
nudge.
Let's
Let's see what nudges will let you do here. I think it's very specific to resources. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so your resources score drops by 1.
Okay.
Resources challenge. The service lasts until completed or for 1 week, plus 1 additional week for each nudge spent. So you... I mean, the thing you're
Right.
doing here, actually, is you're just hiring them permanently. You're folding them into
Yeah.
the family. I'll let you throw in the the nudge, and you can game Philo as an extra. Just hang around your keep. Or if you
Sure.
need to dispatch
I
her
mean,
for anything.
I like Philo. She seems
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, so you now gain the services of a terrorist scholar.
Little
business.
little Fire Emblem things comes up. Philo has joined your party.
So the only third party after this contract is gone, now the person who controls the current contract is the only competition.
The current contract is House
And,
Ganrel.
and
The only
no.
competition is the Canton of Resources.
I was gonna say that's the other thing. The canton could just be like, "This is our contract." That's our other competition.
Hmm.
So now you need to defeat the Canton of Resource.
Well, that'll be fine.
You have technically undermined the competition so far because you literally bought them out. So you
Yeah.
get an advancement for that as soon as you show that you can handle your contracts.
Right. Now, I think the next object we were having, we were going to investigate why House Genril isn't going for this contract and what their cards are being used for.
We were going to go talk to the rebellion about undermining
Oh
the
yeah,
current.
that's it. So I guess the scene is.
So who's up next?
Yeah, I guess the scene is Diedrich and Valette at the.
Well, we follow you to the Canton
Yeah,
of
they
Resources
follow me to the
to
canton.
do the business, and then we're just
Yeah.
getting out of the house for
Yeah.
a day.
Philo's probably there as well.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could just stroll around and look at the Canton of Resources and look
My
at-
husband's going to withdraw some money to buy me a nice gift. Right?
I don't have.
I don't think Diedrich is a sign off on
So
the
at
Genril
some
fund.
point, you find the time to break away and speak with Pulrashik in his back room stalking job in the Warehouse 23.
Mm-hmm.
So Pulrashik sighs as soon as he sees you, and he's like, "Oh, Valette,
Hi,
who's this?
this is my husband.
My
Diedrich.
lord."
Hello. How are you?
I'm working.
I look around like, can we?
There's like huge piles of copper in here, and he's just like taking copper from one shelf and moving it to another shelf.
Can we talk here?
So he looks at the other three workers and is like, "All right, boys, go take a break. Got this." Everybody's just like, "Yay, water and food."
I mean, like, can we, talk? Like, and nobody's like,
If there were, do you think I'd know?
you work here.
How do you think the terrorists get around tin allomancers? I don't know, just take... So he, like, hands you 2 bricks of copper, and he's like, bang these together. It'll mess with their brains, I guess.
So Diedrich will do that job. Just be like,
Okay.
ting, ting,
Vyse, are you burning tin
Vyse
right
is,
now?
Vyse is outside the canton when he's in the other room. He's like, "Oh, time to turn the tin off."
So, I mean, are you burning tin at that moment?
I mean, I'm pretty much. It lasts so long that I'm pretty much passively burning it, like
Okay.
up until the point
Can you
where
make a
allowed to.
physique roll real quick? Difficulty
I
1
mean, he's
physique
like,
roll.
"Here, bang these together," and that's the point up, right?
Yeah, like he would just stop listening before that happened.
There you
Yeah,
go.
you're good. Yeah. So you totally just destroy it. Like,
Yeah.
it would normally hurt you, and you'd like flinch and look a little weird for a second, but
Back when
you're
I
just
had
like,
a physique of 2, it would have hurt me.
you would have had enough nudges to cover the complications, though.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's fine. All right, you can please God stop that. By the Lord Ruler, you gotta
He's
stop.
banging tin together.
Diedrich is literally the deepness right now.
That's
So
what they call
he
me.
sees you doing that, and he's just like, okay, yeah, you're really going at that. Is there something you need, Valette?
Yeah, good job. We came to talk to you because we are making some.
Who is this we?
You met my brother last time, and my husband,
I just met him
and-
right now. Yes.
and I think he met all of us at one point, didn't he? Like he came into our house, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then you remember my aunt, Odalys.
Yeah.
House Martell as a whole is making some business moves, we are going to.
You're taking a really long time to get to the point. I only have a couple of minutes.
Okay, look, here's the deal. We're going after the supply line contract, and if the rebellion were to knock over some of those caravans, it would sure make us look a lot better.
Yeah, if the rebellion was to knock over some of those caravans, we would probably be hunted into extinction.
Uh-huh. Well,
we have to choose our targets very carefully, and let's be clear, your targets are not targets we're going for.
sure. Well,
Wouldn't it be useful to have the people handling transportation from here to the other dominances as allies?
Sure, that would be if we considered you allies. We're still
That's
checking
hurtful.
your story out.
okay, well, that's fair enough and all.
You
and
think
take
because you kill one guy for us, we instantly trust you?
It's a start,
Yeah, it's a start, and that's why we're talking right now.
and that's why we're talking right now. Exactly.
We're not allies.
We can't. We could be. That's
How
the whole.
about we-
That's the whole point.
clear something up for me, Paul.
It's Polrashik.
Right. Clear something up for me. Why would knocking over like 1 or 2 carts on a caravan hunt you to extinction more than your very existence?
If we go after the carts, the Inquisition is going to track us. Falcom is no fool.
So what you're saying is that it's difficult to get away with, not that it makes you a bigger target than usual.
Couldn't you blame somebody else?
Yeah, I mean, I could just blame Horace Martel. That would work out great for everyone.
Well, then that would ruin this entire business arrangement.
For you.
Now, he's making a decent point. If suspicion can't fall to anybody in particular, then that could impede the investigation. Look, Paul Rashik, we've told you our idea, and obviously you're not the head of the rebellion. So why don't we let some, brighter minds decide exactly how this is going to go down? Bring it back to your people and see what they think, and if they have a modification to this idea, if they actually like it, if they find that there's something in here that they can work with, then you can get back to us.
You gonna
Or
follow me
maybe
now?
if you wanted to take part in the transportation of said
I'll tell you what,
items from
I
the
was
list
going to
of
go to the
dominances.
head of the rebellion, but then you suggested it, and that's making me think that you want me to go there so you can follow me.
Wait 5 days. I don't care. I don't actually have much of a time limit. This contract is going to take weeks to resolve. Just get it done before then. We're going to go right back home.
He's like looking at you super suspiciously, like,
Look,
I don't know if I can trust you.
Polrashik, do you know why we came up here?
Where's Vyse? I trust
He's
him.
busy.
He's
I
up
kind of
front.
want badly
Hey,
to enter the
hey.
scene.
And I like,
Yeah, he
You're
sees
talking
you
to me right
standing,
now.
He's like, yeah, I can see you right there.
yeah. Do you know why we came here?
Apparently, because you're desperate for help and need terrorists.
Exactly. We lost everything. We got shit on.
We're super desperate, and turning you guys in is not
I
worth
love the idea that you're both standing there in noble clothing while he's in a warehouse.
Exactly. This
freezing,
is so fucking.
lifting boxes of copper.
Just
in
lifting,
robes.
moving metal from one place to another.
He's literally just
entire
looking at
day.
you like, yes,
This is the biggest thing we're doing all day.
you've lost so much.
We're not going to get that back by turning in some rebels. We're going to get that back by making power plays. It's not really in
You
our
should have
best
seen us
interest
before.
to betray you.
We were even worse. Okay, we came here because we realized that was kind of shitty. We came here to help you.
Would it
Right?
be possible for me to enter the scene
Yes.
depending on how many minutes have passed?
Yeah.
Maybe
Can
I
I-
can be like looking for them.
I'm trying to make him trust me by like being like, look, we're not going to give you up because if we did, then where would we be with where would we be with that?
It sounds like you're either trying to make a. Oh, please, Wreckage, you have to stop. Just got to. You literally have to stop.
Why did you give me a job like this?
I told you to stop doing it before.
I
and
thought you were just talking about me banging against some metal.
Yes, I said, please stop doing that.
Polluting all the audio in this stream.
God, by the Lord Ruler. It sounds like you're either trying to make a charm or a spirit roll, depending on how you're going about this. But if you wanted to, you could get emotional.
I
As
wouldn't do
in,
You're
You
an
have
Elemancer.
that power.
oh yeah.
Yeah, you're
Don't
one of
use
those
Allomancy on
Allomancers.
Rashik.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't.
He already
mean-
doesn't trust us enough.
Inside of the canton. I'm not going to say anything more, but
Would I know that?
That's
I feel
a
like you've
horrible line.
gotten in trouble with Inquisitors.
That's actually true. That's actually very
That's
true.
part of what got us kicked out of our first.
Literally, like the start of that episode was them being like, "Hey, we know you've been rioting, and that's super bad." So probably here I wouldn't, I guess. Yeah, I'll just do a regular charm. And yeah, but this is basically just still me being like, "Hey, but we would why would we do that? That would be stupid for us. We're here to help you. We want to help you. We did the job just for nothing, strictly to get on part of your good graces."
Yeah, it's charm versus spirit because it's a test of will. You're showing what you have to offer.
Okay.
Literally, like, yeah, we could be good friends. So what is
Okay,
Rest
so
in spirit.
the two traits I'm going to bid for are power hungry and intense.
Yeah, definitely both of them. You played both of those out pretty well. And Paul Rashik is one of those folks.
I've also been scarred by prior events in such situations like this. I'm also trying to break into their trust and enter their good graces.
This is getting weirdly sexual.
All right.
So you might say I'm being a B&E specialist.
He's got 4 dice, and he's going to call upon his trait, Obedient to the Rebellion, for a 5th. Yeah, so he's got 5 spirit dice. Can he... Oh, man, which one of your burdens do I want to call upon for a free dice? That sounds great.
Yeah, if any makes sense, feel free.
It's got to be flashbacks, because you're not...
I flash back to the other Inquisition being like all up in my business.
Yeah. So you get an advancement, and yeah, you recall that you're literally recalling like moments in your life where you just fucked up horribly by using.
Oh,
your
yeah.
Allomancy.
There's
And you're
one
like, no,
because,
don't
like,
use the Allomancy. It'd be a terrible idea.
It makes sense because the angle he's going for is like, do you know how dangerous the Inquisition is? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So he gets another die, bring him up to 6 spirit dice. That looks like paired 4s. Yep, paired 4s with
Okay.
edge.
Got 8.
Pair
4s.
These pair 4s with a 5. So
Fuck.
unfortunately, you're gonna fail, but you don't have any complications. Because you both have a 4.
I feel like then after this like roll resolves is when Vyse enters the room.
Yeah, so let's do the resolve as Vyse is coming in. He's like, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I don't bear any ill will towards you, but it's not the right time. And then Vyse, you come in and you hear like, it's not the right time.
9.
Yeah, so I just walk over and I look at Paul Rashik, give him a significant glance of like, fucking did these guys fuck up? Like,
Yeah, Paul Rashik gives you a significant glance like, man, it's good to have somebody competent in this conversation now.
yeah. So he's just sort of like,
man, if only they just had the entire conversation through significant glances.
yeah, right?
I give him a significant glance of, but you're our friend. What are you doing this for?
He looks at Valette and he's like,
You can stop, Diedrich. We're fine now.
No, we can't.
no, don't stop.
Oh, okay.
We're still in the Canton of Resources having a clandestine conversation.
Yeah,
We're talking
and
with
I
our
wanna get
friend
about
Paul
another
Rashik.
minute. We need to wrap this up quick.
So Vyse just looks at Paul Rashik and he, I guess in a pretty weird sort of imagery, he actually like bows to Paul Rashik respectfully as he enters the conversation.
So
circle.
Paul Rashik is just like, what are you doing?
He's like, Paul Rashik, I know that these two are not the most adept negotiators, but
I really told them not to give me
I
this
have-
job.
I have and will swear my life to the cause and swear my life on the loyalty of these people of House Martell. This deal will be mutually beneficial to both of us.
Okay, so I can't tell if you're going for charm or wits, but the outline of the roll seems to be a contest roll where what you're doing is saying, I will work directly for the rebellion on behalf of the Martells to be like, I am their hostage. You're going to be like, yes, my behavior determines how you feel about the Martells. Okay.
Yeah, he's just like, if any one of these guys are unloyal to the Resistance, it is fully on me for placing my trust in them.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like we're doing the same kind of roll. I think you're using charm, or you tell me.
I feel like it would be wits, because
it does seem a little bit like wits. You did just come out and basically be like, listen, here's the truth. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
All right. It's wits versus his 5 dice again. And I think he's going to call upon your dramatic outburst, Burden.
Yeah.
So think of a nice dramatic outburst you want to throw down real quick during the conversation. He's like, so, you want to work for us, then? Directly. You know what you're asking. If you're caught with us, your whole house could be wiped out by the Inquisition.
Goody.
Sir, so he just sort of stands up and he's like, I know the risks, but I feel it is a safe bet to place him on your side.
Okay. All right. Give yourself an advancement for him calling on dramatic outbursts. Let's assemble some die pool.
All right. So I've got 4 wits. I'm going to try and go for apprentice and sense of danger.
Soft spoken.
I don't know that this is a business deal so
Yeah.
much, but
It's
definitely
more like a deal
sense
between people, really.
Yeah, this is definitely a sense of danger for sure.
Sense of danger to give me that 5th dice. I don't know if
and soft spoken as well.
Yeah.
Underling.
All right.
Oh yeah, because you're coming in and basically being
that's
like,
true.
Valette couldn't do this. Now it's time for me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Get it done.
I got my siblings back, I guess.
All right.
Yeah.
I just need to assemble every dice
What
pool.
is the difficulty here?
Ooh, you're rolling against him. He's got nothing but a pair of 6s.
Well, let's go for big then. Pair of 5s and a 9.
Pair of 5s. Oh man, so he's. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go back to when he was like, "Yes, I want him to be here." He's like, "I feel like you're the kind of man I can trust, Vyse, Martell. The people speak about your generosity and your incredible business acumen. I'm going to write down an address for you. We need some things done. If you show up and you get some stuff done, we'll look into working closer with House Martell. We're going to hit that caravan, but you're going to help us do it."
Like the instant that he's like, "Oh yeah, Vyse, I'm glad you're here. Now that you're here, Vyse, I'm willing to help you guys." There's like a split second of like a death glare from Valette at Vyse, and then instantly she's back to like, "Oh goody."
The voice from the flashbacks is like, "You must watch over the
Power.
Right, exactly. There's like a
Kill him and eat his heart.
metals of
Gain his
power."
business acumen.
you hear the start. You hear the start of metals are power. Like in like a split second.
It's just the Reaper horn from Mass Effect. I got to tell you, I think business acumen's stored in probably the appendix of the gallbladder. I feel like the heart is obviously courage.
There's not a lot of that there. But yeah, he takes
I have the most
address.
luxurious gallbladder in the business.
I have the best gallbladder.
So
He takes the address, he puts it in his pocket, and he's like, "To work with you would be an honor."
All right, my arms are getting tired.
You can stop now, Diedrich.
Yeah, so
Yeah, seriously.
So the other terrorists began filing back into the workshop and are like lifting these huge boxes of copper and moving them across the warehouse from like designated column Z to designated column Alpha.
Way to switch
And
out
he's
from
like,
this
"Our
thing.
conversation here is done.
Okay, bye, Polrashik. Good
Yeah.
to see you.
That was my whole lunch break right there."
Sorry.
Can I pull out like a cracker or something?
Yeah, I mean, you could give him like a saltine packet.
Yeah, give him, like, a salt-
Diedrich has an apple.
Give
I
me
was just gonna say. does Diedrich have
apple.
it?
So he has a saltine and an apple now.
I can't eat either of these on the job. So he like takes the cracker and she's like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
There you go.
That's the equivalent
so
of
much."
tipping someone $1.
I'm pretty sure that I have had a saltine and an apple for lunch before, but that's
It's not a good lunch.
no, it's not.
All
As
right.
we- as we leave,
Address.
Valette lets Vyse get like a couple steps ahead, and then she like taps on Diedrich's shoulder and like kind of pulls him because she's a little bit shorter, so she like pulls him down like, Diedrich,
Yeah.
do you guys have Pokeleaf up here?
What?
Pokeleaf.
I don't know, GM. Do we have Pokeleaf up here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we get some?
Why?
Fear and loathing in the Terrace Dominance.
Wait, what? Why?
Why do you want Pokeleaf?
Why not?
We're like, I mean, this is like a pretty. We're in the middle. And we're gonna be doing it. And you just.
We're in the middle of the mission, and there's still more mission.
I mean, we don't have to do it right now, but like we could get it and then do it later. If you just tell me where to find it, I can go get it myself.
Oh, so my brother's more into that sort of stuff.
Oh,
So I don't actually know where to get it.
Oh, this
Okay.
will go great.
Okay, great. So I guess while the end of that scene is just like Vyse turns around because he's walking ahead. It is like, you two are heading to House Genro, right, to investigate the corpse.
No, we're not. We are not heading. That is a bad idea.
why?
Because
We need to know what they're doing.
there's no way to do it without him finding out. My grandma's going to spill the beans if we talk to her in any capacity.
Well, don't talk to her, just observe. They can't just, they have to have those carts.
I mean, maybe we can get close to somebody else in the family. Your brother, for instance.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, you should go smoke some Pokeleaf with his brother until he spills the beans.
Okay, all right, wife. If you want to go smoke leaf with my brother until he spills the beans, I would be happy to escort you to House General.
Wes just looks at it, he's like, however you get the information needs to be got.
I make no promises. This is a very high ask. I would much rather get that address to go knock some heads for whoever needs head knocking.
We bought out the people who needed head knocking.
But you just got an address. I was there. They need help with a thing.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean head knocking.
It's what they're gonna have you do some paperwork.
Do I look like I'm built for head knocking?
I don't. I mean, kinda. You've really bulked up recently, and they may not know that you are of a more soft disposition. I really think I should go with you to that place. That's neither here nor there. They wanted that later. We'll go to my house now, and we can. But I should come with you to the head knocking, which I'm certain there will be head knocking.
Is the scene over?
Yes, I just don't know where it's going.
Okay, well, how about we pause for a moment right before we go on break and reveal some new Erosaito art.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Really?
Reveal this time.
Bam.
I like the brush.
I know. Holy
good.
crap.
So
Let's see,
good.
Wow.
Where is this at?
It's in Twitch.
It's Desha. It's
Oh,
Desha.
damn.
My Twitch chat broke and I didn't realize. So
I mean, I'm not saying Coop would do anything, but he's into artsy women.
Coop?
Yeah, Coop, Copperkeep.
Yeah, remember the guy that was like, "Hey, remember that shitty thing that happened to you when you were 6? That's
The
not
guy
your
we're going
fault."
to kill.
The g-
That we're going to snap in half like a twig and then
The guy
bury.
that you're gonna
in an
hire.
unmarked
I
grave at the edge
mean,
of town.
she might snap him in half, but
Oh,
Oh,
Then he'll die
anyway,
happy.
amazing picture, Erosaito, as always.
Oh my God.
oh my god, I am so happy.
Beautiful.
That's why when they were talking, I started freaking out. If you were curious.
Oh, okay.
I thought that possibly might be it, but I was like, I started looking different places where I might see something you were freaking out about. And I was like, oh man, it's so good.
I know.
it's in the description for those of you watching on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we can break here. We'll be back at high noon and do some more
Oh,
stuff.
the show ends at high noon, but it's the high noon that's at nighttime.
I mean, it's high noon somewhere.
It's high noon somewhere.
Right?
Yeah, it's true. It is high noon somewhere in the world.
So yeah,
it's high
we'll be
noon
back in about 6
somewhere.
minutes for another 2 hours. Thanks for sticking with us.
It's also
Prepare-
5 o'clock somewhere.
Jesus, prepare to enjoy yourself. I mean, it's only 5 o'clock at o'clock. I mean,
Yep.
It's the o'clock now.
It's
So
o'clock now, yeah.
Yep. It's o'clock now.
Right now, this very second.
And we're going on break right now.